Jack pulled out a sharp steel needle from the plastic packaging and nervously inserted it carefully into the interior of the helmet. He then unlocked the safety lock and put on the specially designed helmet, fastening it tightly. In an instant, the device began scanning his irises. As he gently pressed the switch with his fingers, the sharp steel needle suddenly pierced his eyeball, and intense pain washed over him. However, in order to obtain the technology for immortality, Jack had no choice but to grit his teeth and endure the agony. The 3 minutes felt like an endless torment, but finally, the consciousness replication was complete. He quickly opened his computer and started writing complex programs. After a flurry of activity, Jack's consciousness was successfully transferred to an intelligent robot. Seeing that the robot now possessed his own consciousness, he immediately found his boss Mike and handed over the immortality technology. However, just as Mike was immersed in the euphoria of power, the shadow of betrayal surged in his heart. He decided to silence Jack and his family. The moment Mike was about to make his move on Lisa, the robot rushed in and fiercely flung the guards away. It turned out that Jack had anticipated Mike's untrustworthiness and had left a trace of his own consciousness in the robot's program. Watching his subordinates fall one by one, Mike fled the scene in a panic. Jack quickly led his family to the car, and then returned to the lab alone. In the distant year of 2050, humanity had finally mastered cloning technology. As a scientist, Jack had accidentally developed an astonishing technology that could replicate human consciousness. He brought those who had died unexpectedly into the lab and achieved so-called immortality by transferring their consciousness into the shells of robots. However, when the test subjects realized they were trapped in a cold iron frame, they couldn't accept that reality. Seeing that they wanted to destroy their own bodies, Jack decisively cut off the power at the critical moment. To soothe his increasingly heavy heart due to the failure, Jack decided to take his family on a trip. Unfortunately, halfway through the journey, a torrential downpour suddenly struck, and the out-of-control car plunged into a sewer. Tragic fate descended, and his family unfortunately passed away. In order to bring his family back to his side, Jack planned to use the immortality technology to resurrect them.